Hey guys, this is Tim. This is the first of a short series of videos on quadratic equations with complex solutions. In this video, we'll look at different categories of numbers. In the black cloud here, I show the various categories of numbers and the relationships between them. The most basic types of numbers are the natural numbers. These are your counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Moving up from there, we have whole numbers. The whole numbers include all of your natural numbers plus 0. Moving up from whole numbers, we have the integers. This set includes all of the whole numbers plus negative numbers, such as -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. Moving up from there, we have the rational numbers. Rational numbers, let's go down to the green cloud, are 1, any number that can be written as a fraction, for example 3/4, or any ending or repeating decimal, for example 2.62. That would be a decimal that ends, an ending decimal. Or a repeating decimal would be something like 3.131313. That 1-3 pattern repeats. So moving up from rational numbers, we have real numbers. Real numbers are made up of rational numbers and irrational numbers. So what is an irrational number? Let's go to the red cloud. An irrational number is any real number that cannot be written as a fraction or any decimal that does not end or repeat. So basically what this says is that an irrational number is any real number that is not a rational number. So what are some examples of irrational numbers? Well, one would be 3.121735216 and so on. Notice that it does not end. That's what the 3 dots mean. It just continues to go into infinity. And it does not repeat. There's no repeating pattern in these numbers. Another example of an irrational number is pi. The numeric value for pi is 3.1415926 and so on. Again, notice that it does not end and there's no repeating pattern. All right, so from real numbers, let's move up to complex numbers. That's the highest category of numbers. So complex numbers include real numbers and purely imaginary numbers. So what's an imaginary number? Let's move to the blue cloud. An imaginary number is I. It's the symbol I, where I squared equals -1 or I equals the square root of -1. That's an imaginary number. A purely imaginary number is the product of a real number and I. So for example, 3i. 3 times I is a purely imaginary number. So a complex number is the sum of a real number and a purely imaginary number. So for example, 3 plus 2i is a complex number. Okay, I know we went through that pretty fast. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at OhNoNotMath@gmail.com. In the next video, we'll look at quadratic equations and how you can determine, by looking at the determinant of a quadratic equation, how many solutions you'll have and what type of solution you'll have. The solutions will be either rational, irrational, or complex. Thanks for watching. The next video will be titled Quadratic Equations with Complex Solutions, Part 2.